Okay, my peeps. Righto. So, continuation on the previous video. Is this Budai? Budai, they call it these days, or Buddha, you want to call Buddha. You can call Gautama's Buddha, but there's another one at Fat Guy, which these days we call Budai. And to me, it seems like the Budai tradition was in Europe. We have a European Budai we will reveal in this video. And we have both pagan and Christian versions of the mapamundi. The mapamundi seems to have been designed to be hung up in a church and venerated, as you can see quite clearly, as a saint. This is left over from the Middle Ages, neglected after the Reformation, drawn in the 1700s. And then they just didn't know what to do with it. So they just sort of packed it away. They were going to sell the mapamundi. They were actually going to sell it. And then they decided to raise some funds in the 90s. So they built another building for the Hereford mapamundi, which still survives today. But as you see, it is treated as a person, as a saint, almost as a god. This is Budai. Let's get into this exciting video. I'm excited. And we know this because this is not the good one. The good one is the one in Germany, the Erbsdorf, destroyed in the war. We'll get onto that as well. So we have a mystery. The earth was worshipped, absolutely worshipped in the pyramid era. Oh, there's the top of the Hereford one that we've just seen. And that is clearly Jesus. He's got the holes in the hands. It seems to be Jesus standing on top of the mapamundi. Extremely intricate, detailed, amazing. You've got angels on each side. His army, and it's absolutely incredible. Is that Japan up there? Who knows? You can't read that writing. And of course, we saw that in the middle, right in the middle, is that strange thing pointing to the four corners like a pyramid does. And we also, one of the things we alluded to was the fact that you pack so much land and so little water that it's designed for land bisection, trisection, quadrisection. You're supposed to pack it equally and then quadrisect the world, which is what they said about the Great Pyramid. It divides the land area, not only of Egypt, but also of the world. Now that's a Christian version. You've got Jesus standing here saying, "Behold the world." Okay, that's interesting. Oh, and by the way, another observation, and I think others have made it as well. You have these circles around the edges. These are the portolans you get in the medieval charts. So there's another one. And we don't quite know their function. And there's all these, you got letters as well, like some kind of omega or something. Not an omega, that's something else. You see these circles used for navigation. What are they? All right, let's continue. So we know from the measurements inherent in the Great Pyramid that they utterly worshipped the planet Earth, because this was, according to Stacchini and others, Newton, possibly Newton as well. Remember my video? He was looking for the gravitational constant based on measures in the Great Pyramid he hoped to find, because he knew, based on his readings, that this was a scale Earth. And we know the Druids did exactly the same thing all day long, according to Julius Caesar. They calculated the Earth. This was part of their religion. The Earth was their god. And then we see the same thing in the mapamundi from Germany, which I'll show you. The Erbsdorf mapamundi. Shaped like a Budai almost, isn't he? Look at that. Nice and round, like a planet almost. But also moon-coloured. Is he the moon god or is he the Earth? In one video I've suggested it's almost the same thing, because the moon and the Earth are the same system. For example, Ea was moon for Moses, but in Egypt, we've seen that. But was it also, in Sumerian times, it was the Earth. The triptych. We're worshipping. Make no mistake, guys. There's Jesus up there, so he is in the picture, but we're worshipping the planet. Make no mistake about that. So there's this thing called Budai, and it says here, okay, he's that. Not to be confused with Buddha. Really? Are you sure? Because to me it seems like this could be the earlier version. And this is the one I talk about as proto-Buddhism. And the reason he's that is he's the planet. He's got a bit of green on him. Laughing Buddha. And what do we know about him? Almost nothing. And that's a clue. Look, because of the spread of Chen Buddhism, he's venerated in these places. Right. He seems to have, Budai is said to have lived around the 10th century in this kingdom. He's depicted as this jolly fat... In other words, look, this bloke is in Europe as Friar Tuck. This is Friar Tuck. Jolly laughing crazy guy. Joker, cosmic Joker, the earth. Fallen angel, the earth. You know why we don't know anything about him? And this is how you can tell something goes back to possibly the megalithic era. There's no information about what he is. If there's no information about what he is, who he is, what he means, what he's doing, guess what? That means he's very old. Same with alchemy. There's no information about it. We don't even know where the alchemy alphabet is from, where those symbols are from. There's no information because it's very old. Same with music as physics. We don't understand that fully because it's very old. So if you read through this, you quickly see that we know absolutely nothing about why this guy looks like the way he does, why he's laughing, why he is the way he is, why he's so rotund. We know nothing about this bloke. Absolutely nothing. And yet his name is clearly Buddha. Let's continue. And we have stone spheres. Are these Buddha representations also in a way, or earth representations, or even moon representations? They've chosen stones which are similar colour, and at least here that looks like the moon. Oops. That's the good one. That's the one. It's been destroyed in the war, but we have photos and things, and this is a reconstruction. Do you see these? It's made from 30 pieces of goat skin. We're going to zoom in a second, so you'll see more, a lot more. It's over 3.3 by 3 meters in size. It represents the world, and I believe a primary purpose of pre-Christian monasteries. That's right, I said pre-Christian. People think they're Christian, they're not. Nothing to do with Christianity. A key purpose of ancient monasteries would have been to create and copy these mapamundi for hanging in world worshipping ceremonies, which these even would have been at Giza because they worshipped the earth. These would have been hung up. And these megalithic monasteries of 3000, 1000, 2000 BC. Now I'm going to show you something very, very interesting. At the bottom, oh, there's a pair of feet. On the side, oh, there's a hand. On the other side, oh, there's another hand over there. Oh, what's going on, guys? Oh, damn. What is that? Alpha, Omega. Okay. Now, someone said the thing in the Celtic cross is the sun, but here it's coloured blue like the water, right? The ocean around the land. And we know that the earth was divided in 4, the earth symbol in alchemy. And this bloke is taking up the area where the land would be if this was a mapamundi. And that's his hand. That's his feet. This is a slightly Christianized pagan god. I put it to you, this is not Jesus. This is Budai, the round planets. The word planet itself, palanat, Baal, Baal, in other words. You could call him Baal if you wanted to. He's Christianized. That's clear. This is the best mapamundi. There is so much information here. It is absolutely unbelievable. And we've alluded to the fact this is also the pyramid religion. How do we know? Wow, let's look at Jerusalem in the middle. And you see the 4 walls. It's almost like the Great Pyramid, isn't it? Pointing to the 4 compass points, just like Giza. I could call this video Giza in a German map, if I wanted to. But it's not. It's not. It is obviously Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Absolutely amazing. Showing the two-hump camel. And lots of writing, because Germans like lots of writing. They want to see what's going on with everything. And that's the pyramid depicted in the middle, pointing to the four corners, as all pyramids tend to do. Not quite all pyramids. And then the Tyrian fortresses, and then the start of the Mediterranean. Let us actually check to see if there's any Sicily. Notice Sicily is drawn with a heart. This was one of the richest places in Europe. Part of the reason the Normans were so interested in it at the time, they just conquered it. And England wanted to take it over in the 1300s again, but they were not able to. Over here, okay, that's Libya. And there seems to be lots of rivers coming into Africa here. Some islands in the Mediterranean. Let's check if there is a Giza, because the Giza would have been the early Jerusalem in the earlier mapamundi. Let's see now. That's Babylon again. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm not quite seeing the pyramids. Not seeing them. If you see them, do let me know, but I'm not quite seeing them in this particular map. Nope, not quite seeing them. Let's go on. There's another mapamundi. This is from the 1500s, and this one is even more Christianized, and it's different. No longer is there a hand on each side and feet. It's just Jesus. That's clearly Jesus now. That's not, or possibly not, Budai. That is a kind of grotesque green man. He's sort of dribbling and there's water coming down, turning into rivers. But the Jerusalem is just a round little thing. The artist isn't quite sure how to do it. This is from the 1400s. And it's less of a mapamundi, more of a drawing of a mapamundi, because it's obviously an illuminated manuscript. So it is not the actual map itself. It's an artistic representation. And as you go forwards in time, it gets worse and worse. This is an Italian mapamundi. I think it's called the Borgia mapamundi. And I'm not even seeing a Jerusalem in there or anything. It's really almost as if they've forgotten. They've now forgotten to even bother copying the earlier mapamundis. Now, even in the Middle Ages, they wouldn't understand that Erbsdorf mapamundi with the hands on each side, on the bottom, the feet, showing that is the god. The earth is the god. They wouldn't have understood that fully. But even here, they've forgotten why at all to even bother copying the earlier mapamundi. They just make their own. They don't quite know what it's for or why. They just think, oh, I'll just try making one like this. When I was in, this is my website actually, I put all this up in 2012, Bizarre Church, it's a video I made. Just old medieval stuff from Germany. Just amazing stuff. Not is the same word as gnosis or knowledge, which is tied together. So you have different streams of knowledge tying up other streams of knowledge. So you open one and you unlock the others in the Druidic tradition. And that's why they didn't need to write it down, because as soon as you knew one, you knew the other ones, because and you knew this through the imperial system. That'll be in an upcoming book. But anyway, the purpose of looking at this is that in this particular strange church. By the way, there's the three women. Who are the women? What's going on? Who's that? Who's this bloke? What's he doing up there? What's going on? He's got a beard. Is that God? What is he? Look at that. It's a kind of Celtic cross. And I've suggested that the Celtic cross shows that's the earth symbol. Some have said, yes, it's the sun. Well, it could be the sun as well. But the problem with that approach is here you have clearly the foliage and vegetation showing that in this instance it could be the earth. And you have a godhead there and some other things going on. You have the three ladies and and all this. Again, it's showing, in some ways, it's an artistic mapamundi, it's an artistic earth. And you've even got this bevel, extra bevel here, showing that this is where the waters could be around the landmass, you see. And it's been crossed, in other words, quadrisected. So they've sanctified the earth by quadrisecting it and then placing the pyramid in the middle. And I think that's the purpose of the mapamundi. All right, guys, as you say, earth worship in medieval Europe. Budai, the body. The body. The earth is this man's actual body, whoever this strange bloke is. All right, guys, thank you.